From the diagnosis to the treatment, it was a very rough time. I call it the dark time, the dark days, because you are so overwhelmed with so many different emotions. First, you're in shock because you never thought you're going to get cancer. Nobody thinks they're going to get cancer. And then you have a little denial phase where, no, I'm healthy. I've been healthy all my life. I've eaten right all my life. I've worked out. And then there's fear. I mean, intense fear, because the first thing you think when you have cancer is, I'm going to die very soon, sooner than I ever thought I would. And that's not really true. You have to find out everything about it before you make those judgments. But of course, that's just human nature. That's going to happen. You're going to get very scared. So there's days where you're just crying in a corner thinking, how did this happen to me? Why me?
I don't want to be that. I want to live. I want to live.
As an oncologist, you put it into a box, one of two grab bag pieces. You always put it into curable or incurable. Mm-hmm. And you do that almost at the beginning.
Okay.
And the way in which you put it into one of those two boxes is based on what we call a stage, right? That's when you stage a cancer, you're putting it into
how far along it's growing.
How far along? Has it involved lymph nodes, or has it spread in the blood?
Okay.
Now, like much of life, it's not always so black and white. Mm-hmm. And when I met you, you had what was called stage 3B disease, which meant in the lymph nodes in the center of the chest. And at worst, and I'm not 100% sure, but enough to probably begin discussing what it means, it's now stage 4 or metastatic.
I'm a cancer survivor, so I know what it's like to sit in the chair.
So
I was
helpful.
in nursing school when I actually was diagnosed, so late in life career change. Anyway, but my favorite's probably not the right word, but my favorite thing to do is to get people on their first time here, because they're on the ledge, they're on the cliff, they've just gotten a diagnosis and they can't process the information, they have either surgery or chemo, everything happens so fast, it's just, you don't even have time to process, and boom, you're in the chair.
Exactly.
And you don't even know what's going on. And so I enjoy that, because I can say I've been there, I understand, and kind of talk people down off the ledge.
I have had now 12 full days of chemotherapy, and it was like 1 week each, separated by 3 weeks each of the radiation therapy. So I'll have a total of 35 days of radiation when this is over, and 12 days of chemotherapy. This is what I do when I come and get my chemotherapy. I've realized that all the patients have different mixes of the medicines depending on what they're being treated for. I come in 5 days a week, and then the Monday afterwards, and I've done that. This is my second time now. So what I do is I come in and they hook me up to different fluids. You don't get all the chemo medication at once. You get first, I have a saline going through me, and then they run a steroid through you. Then they, for me, I have a Benadryl drip that goes through because I reacted to some of the medicine before. And then usually on Mondays I get 2 different chemo medications, and then the rest of the week I get 1.
One of the biggest fears of people coming in is that they're afraid of nausea. You know, you think back historically with chemo, nausea and vomiting, people hugging the porcelain god, and just awful, awful, awful things. And we've got such wonderful drugs now. We've got a bunch of 3 or 4 different classes of drugs that, if the patient's properly educated, they can manage those side effects. So they can really sail through the process way more easily than they think going into it.
I've had no nausea whatsoever.
And it's all about educating the patient so that they they know what to do. And in my mind, as a cancer survivor, it's staying ahead of it. Nausea is kind of like pain with me, and it's way better to stay ahead of it than it is to play catch up.
You slowly start working through it as you start finding your medical team, as you start finding people to help you, support systems. And once you know the treatment, once you know the exact diagnosis, so you have to hold on through those roller coaster days of exactly what cancer this is, what stage it is, what are the symptoms of it, what's going to happen to me. And then once, with your doctor, once you start treatment, suddenly you feel so much better because you're doing something. You're actually doing something that's killing the cancer. This is what I have right here because they're shooting it straight at the tumor here. And it's radiation almost every single day for 35 days. So it has been burning my skin. I just put some medication on that, some lotion. When I found out that I had progressed to stage 4, I realized that I was going to have to be very, very positive to help myself heal this cancer and to get better and obtain my goals of getting back to a normal life. So I looked into all the things that are very healthy for me. I started working out again. I lifted weights. I also looked into my nutrition. I wanted to make sure I was eating very well-balanced, healthy meals full of nutrients that would help my immune system fight the cancer. I started juicing. I would make juices out of carrots and cauliflower, broccoli, celery, all the foods that are full of antioxidants and very healthy for you and will help you fight. I also started seeing an acupuncturist. My doctor had said this could be a very good treatment to follow. So I went in and I had the needles applied all throughout my body, which is supposed to really help reinforce your immune system. Afterwards, I would relax and meditate for about 20 minutes to really keep myself in a good place and think positive thoughts, keep the energy flowing. And I really do think this helped. I have kept a very positive outlook. I'm continuing to fight. I'm continuing to remain as hopeful and positive as I can be. I even have been able to lose all of my hair and still know that I'm going to get better. My doctor has said this is possibly curable, and I know that I will be able to continue living with cancer.